G'day, how are you? Now, at death we get recycled. How do we get recycled at death? Now, I'm 65 years old and in 5 years I'm going to be 70, so I start thinking about death. But we do get recycled. The atoms in our body get recycled. Now, roughly how many atoms do we have in our body, an adult-sized body like mine? We have 7 octillion atoms. Now, 7 octillion is 7 with 27 zeros after it. So 7 octillion atoms in your body, that's 7 with 27 zeros after the number 7. Now, when you get cremated, do the atoms in your body get destroyed? No, they don't. I will tell you why. When we burn something, it just changed the chemical structure of what we burn. So when you get cremated, when you die, the crematorium furnace is between 800 and 1000 degrees Celsius. That's in Fahrenheit, that's 1470 Fahrenheit and 830 Fahrenheit. So when you do get burned in the crematorium, 65%, between 50 and 65% of your body is water. Yes, water. We weren't created from the dust. We evolved from the ocean. That's why about 65% of our body is water. Now, what happens to that water? It turns into steam and it goes into the atmosphere as H2O molecules, and they get absorbed into drinking water, rainwater. They get drank by other animals and land in moisture. Now, matter can neither be created or destroyed. Remember, in science, you learn that matter cannot be created or destroyed. So, your body, what is your body made up of? As we learned, your body is about between 50 and 65% water. Now look at the minerals in your body. Iron, which is in your blood. Now with iron, you have 0.005% of your body is made of iron. You have enough iron in your body to make one nail. Just one nail, that's how much iron. But if you didn't have that iron, you would die because you'd be anemic. Now, calcium is, our body is only about 1 to 2% calcium. Now, the calcium is all in our bones. So 99% of your bones and teeth are calcium. We have minerals. Now, let's go down to the minerals. We have oxygen. 65% of your body is oxygen, because don't forget you're 65% water. Carbon, 18%. Hydrogen, 9%. Nitrogen, 3%. Phosphorus, 1%, potassium, 0.4%, sulfur, 0.2%, chlorine, 0.2%, and magnesium, 0.1%. So when you die, the atoms in your body continue. They do not get destroyed, they just get rearranged. And human beings, like all other animals, evolved on planet Earth. We came from the ocean, so that's why we're 65% water, not 65% dust. And the atoms in your body continue forever and ever. They are immortal. So yes, you are immortal when you die, but the atoms are immortal. And I'll give you a little illustration. When you burn a book, you burn a storybook, right? You burn a storybook, right? The atoms in the book remain. So you burn the paper and the chemical arrangement of the atoms change, but the atoms are still there, but the story is lost. The words on the letters on the piece of paper that make the storybook are lost forever. So the atoms in our body, when we're cremated, the atoms are still there, they just get rearranged, but our consciousness is gone because we are a pattern of atoms. We are a temporary arrangement of meat made out of atoms, and the atoms originally were in stardust. So we are stardust, parts of distant stars and planets, the iron in us, all the different chemicals, the carbon. Now that is really interesting. So in a way we are immortal, but our consciousness is not immortal. And you wouldn't want your consciousness to be immortal. Think of all the bad memories you have. Think of all the bad regrets. All the bad memories, all the trauma that you went through in life that still haunt you and still torment you. When you die, that evaporates. It vanishes. It goes. So when we die, even if we get buried, now when we get buried, the atoms in our body take a little bit longer to rearrange. They break down, microbes in your stomach start decomposing, start feeding off your body. The 65% water goes into the soil, and we become plant food. Grass that grows above our grave takes the nutrients from our body, they takes the atoms from our body, grows it into a tree. Fruit bats eat the leaves on the tree, cows eat the leaves on the tree and the grass, and then people eat the cow, and then it's an everlasting cycle. So our body does get recycled. So yes, I do believe in recycling. The human body gets recycled into other living things. So the water in your body could have been part of the water in the dinosaur's body. The water in your body could have been a part of the water of an ancient human who lived 3,000 years ago. And the atoms in your body, get breathed in when you get cremated. They'll be breathed in by other living things, by other people, and the atoms, when they breathe it in, become atoms. They'll become part of someone else's body. So we get recycled into other living things. As I told in one other video I made, that death is not a punishment. Death is not a punishment. It's just the nature of things, and we are a pattern of atoms, and a temporary arrangement of meat, and entropy is king. Entropy, every living thing eventually dies, and the atoms in the living thing become disorganized. So when we decompose, we become disorganized, and we go back into the ground or the air if we get cremated, or we go into the water table, our body, and we get eaten, drank, and breathed in by other living things. So your atoms in your body at one stage may have been the atoms of Julius Caesar or Cleopatra. The air you breathe in, people are getting cremated all the time. So those gases that from the crematorium are getting breathed in by other people and becoming part of your body. So atoms in your body may have been the atoms of someone who lived 150 years ago. And the atoms in your body now will become atoms in other people in the future, but you won't know about it. You won't be there, but your consciousness dissolves. And that's a good thing, because we don't want to be tormented by bad memories and bad thoughts and forever. And so you are immortal in one way. The atoms in you are immortal, but your consciousness is not immortal. And that's a good thing. So you have nothing to fear from death. It is just a natural part of life, and your atoms in your body will be rearranged into a new living thing, and you'll be breathed in, you'll be drank, you'll be eaten by other living creatures, and they'll have a turn of being conscious and to enjoy life too. So you do live on in other living things when you die. And you are immortal, the atoms in you are immortal, but your consciousness is not immortal, and you have nothing to fear from death at all. And maybe death is a friend, because if we didn't die, there would be no room for newborn babies. And one day, the atoms of a newborn baby may be atoms that were once in your body. And isn't that a beautiful thing, nature? We have entropy, a pattern of atoms that experience in consciousness. So yes, you are the universe experiencing itself for a brief moment in time. Thank you very much. And you may have found this a bit depressing, but I've been thinking about death a lot because I'm 65. I'll be 65 in a couple of months. It's February now. I'll be 65 in April. And I'm thinking about death because I think, oh my God, 65, I'm halfway between 50 and 80. And the average lifespan is about 70 or 80 years. That's about the lifespan, 70, 80, say 75. Say 75 means I've got about 10 years of life left. And life goes so quickly. Don't waste it on, don't waste your life on a afterlife that may never happen. Enjoy the one and only life that you know you're going to get and you're guaranteed to get, but don't waste your life serving other men, other religious leaders who's saying that you have to obey them if you want to enjoy the coming afterlife, because nobody knows what happens at death. We don't know if there is an afterlife, but science says that when your brain dies, your consciousness vanishes. And just like that burning storybook, the atoms in the storybook remain. They just get burned up by fire and just the atoms get rearranged. But the story is lost forever because they were just letters on a page. And your memories are just letters on a page of a book. And it's the book of life. And every good book comes to an end. Every good movie comes to an end. So by accepting our mortality and realizing that we are immortal, our atoms are immortal, but our consciousness is not immortal. Thanks again for watching. Bye then.